Hey Yogi Warriors, how's it going? Emily Warrior here. Today I have for you a yoga sequence for post or pre-travel or post or pre-work, whatever you've done with your day today, whether you've been on your feet all day, you've had a long drive in the car, or you've been jetting off on your holidays or whatever. This yoga sequence will certainly help to just release all that travel from the body today. So when you're ready, come and join me on your mat. And we'll begin in our tabletop on our hands and knees. So the hands are shoulder width apart here, knees are hip width. And we'll move through some nice yummy rounds of cat-cows to warm up our spine. On our inhale, we'll draw the belly down to the mat and lift the chest and chin up. Exhaling, pulling the belly in, rounding the spine, and bring your chin to the chest. Inhale, belly draws down, lift the chest and chin up. Exhaling, rounding the spine, chin to chest. Inhale, belly draws down, lift the head and chest and chin. Exhaling, rounding. 2 more times. Inhale, lift. Exhaling, rounding. 1 more. Inhale, lifting the head. Exhale, round. Inhale, coming back to your neutral tabletop. We can then just come up to kneeling and we will step our right foot forward. So we come into a low lunge or a short low lunge, if you will. Maybe this is what our low lunge looks like. If we can gently open up a little bit more, we can just walk that right foot a little bit further forwards to open up that left hip a little bit more. We are nice and active here. We're not just passively stretching and letting go. We want to lift up through that pelvis. Pull this right thigh back into the sockets. And then the left hip starts to draw down towards the mat. Nice deep breaths here. You may notice I'm in a jumper again today. It's very cold here in the UK. It's very cold in my house and I don't have any heating in this room, so I have my nice cozy jumper on again today. Anyway, nice deep breaths in our low lunge. 1 more breath here. And then taking the hands behind us, we'll interlace the fingers together. We'll tuck the toes under and press those toes into the mat. Lift the knee up off the mat. We can then start to draw the elbows together and open up the chest. So we come into a nice crescent lunge chest opener. Beautiful. Reach those hands down towards the mat and lift the chest and chin up towards the ceiling. Ooh, strong legs. One more breath. Exhale, gently release the hands. Inhale, reaching the arms up, coming into a high crescent lunge. Deep belly breaths. Keep pulling the belly and ribs in here. 1 more breath. Exhale, we can release the hands and we'll step back that left foot in a few paces. We can then lengthen through this right leg, squaring your hips to the top of the mat. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, hinging from the hips. We'll fold forwards and come into our pyramid. The body can come parallel to the mat, and then maybe those fingers come to reach down towards the mat. If the fingers don't quite come down and we have some blocks, we can always rest our hands on our blocks instead. So we have this nice lengthening in our spine. And again, that right thigh is pulling back into its socket. The left hip is pulling forwards. Actively squaring the hips to the top of your mat. Deep breaths wherever we are. 1 more breath. On your next inhale, we'll windmill the arms up, coming into our warrior two. So the arms come in line with the shoulders and we can shimmy back, that left leg and bend into your front knee. Warrior two. And we're gazing at the middle finger on your right hand here. Shoulders gently relax down the back. One more breath. On your next inhale, flip that front palm. Exhale, reverse your warrior. Slide the left palm down the back leg, and we can reach this right arm up. Feeling that nice stretch in the front of your body. We still have a bend in the front knee. One more breath. As we exhale, come back to your center. Bend that right elbow and bring the forearm to rest on top of the thigh, the right thigh. Extend the left arm in line with the ear. And we come into our extended side angle. Nice strong legs today. And hopefully we have a nice line from the heel all the way up to the fingertips. Keep reaching through that top hand. One more breath, you got this. Exhale, we can bring both the palms down to the mats. Come up onto the balls of the back foot, and then bring your right knee to your right wrist. We'll come into our pigeon. We can slide that left leg back, untuck the toes, and we come to rest in our pigeon. If the hips don't quite come down towards the mat, maybe we're up here in our pigeon, we can grab hold of our blocks just to place underneath that right sit bone. And we can just use that block to perch on, just to take the pressure off the hips if it's quite intense for us today. This right foot can be tucked into the pelvis, or maybe it kind of comes out, starts to come out to the left side. Wherever we are in our pigeon. Nice deep breath. We can be grounding through the fingertips, or maybe we like to have the palms on the mat here. And we have a nice little flexion in this right foot. We're flexing the toes, deepening that stretch in the outside of the right hip. One more breath. Exhaling, planting the palms into the mat. We'll tuck the back toes under, lift the knee and step it back to a downward facing dog. And just take a moment to paddle the feet and reset the legs. Any nice little movements here. Just opening up the whole body. And then on your next inhale, shifting your weight into a plank. Exhale, we can bring the knees, chest and chin to the mat or chaturanga, lowering yourself down with control. Inhaling, upward facing dog. Exhaling, taking it back to your downward facing dog. Taking a moment to paddle the feet again. And then we'll do the same on our left. So lift up your left foot and step it between the hands. We're staying nice and high on the balls of the back foot. And we can inhale, use your core to come up into your crescent lunge. Taking the fingers behind the back and interlacing them together. Roll those shoulders down and start to draw the elbows together. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. And we can start to draw the hands a little bit down towards the mat. So we have a slight back bend, reaching the chest and chin up to the ceiling. Deep breaths. One more breath. Exhale, releasing the fingers. Inhale, reaching, oh, the post has just come through. Reaching the arms up in line with the ears, coming into our high crescent lunge. Oh, strong legs today. Deep breaths. One more breath. Exhale, release those arms down. We can step back, that right foot in a pace. And we'll set ourselves up for our pyramid. So we can square the hips to the top of the mat. The back foot is in a little bit of an angle. And as we inhale, we can reach the arms up in line with the ears. Exhale, hinging from the hips. We'll fold forwards. Whether we keep the arms in line with the ears, or maybe we relax the arms down, bringing the fingertips to face to the mat. Or maybe we have our blocks that we can rest the hands on instead. And again, wherever we are, nice deep breaths. We're pulling this left thigh bone back into its socket this time, and the right hip is pulling forwards. Nice deep breaths. One more breath. On your inhale, sweep the arms back up. Exhale, release the hands down. We can then come into our warrior two. I'll just switch around so you guys can see. So we'll bring the arms in line with the shoulders. We can start to step back that right foot a few paces. And exhale, bend into your front knee. And we're gazing at the middle finger on the left hand this time. Relaxing those shoulders down. One more breath. On your next inhale, flipping that front palm. Exhale, reversing your warrior. We can slide that right hand down the back leg this time. Reaching that left arm over. Keep bending into that front knee. And feeling that nice stretch in the front left side of the body. One more breath. Exhaling, curl back to your center. Bend into that left elbow. Bring the forearm to rest on top of the thigh. And we can extend the right arm in line with the ear, the right ear. Coming into our extended side angle. Still have a bend in that front knee. And we're really reaching through this top hand so we have this nice extension from the heel to the fingertips. Oh, deep breaths, you got this. Maybe taking the gaze up towards the ceiling. One more breath. Exhale, we can windmill that right hand down to the mat, bring the left palm down. We can then come up onto the balls of the back foot, and then we can bring our left knee towards the left wrist and sliding that right leg back as far as the body allows, coming into our pigeon. And again, if we have our blocks, we can always place it underneath the left sit bone this time for a bit of support in the hips here, if we need. Wherever we are, nice deep breaths. We can have that nice flexion in this left foot this time, deepening that stretch on the outside of the hip. And keep trying to ground this right hip down towards the mat. It's not opening out to the side, and we're kind of lounging here, that's where we can then pop the block underneath our left sit bone so we can keep the hips square. One more breath. On your exhale, bend into that back knee and we can just bring that leg round in front. So we come to sit, or just finding your own way to sit. We can then just help ourselves come down to lying on our backs. So just casually finding your way down. Bring the knees into the chest for a quick hug. Maybe a rock side to side. And then bringing the soles of the feet back down onto the mat. The knees are bent and we have about a hip width distance between the feet here. Roll those shoulders down the back, tuck them under, and plant the palms and feet into the mat. Slight tuck of the chin. And gently press the lower back into the mat here. Take a deep breath. On your next inhale, roll up the spine vertebrae by vertebrae and lift the pelvis up into your bridge. And some deep breaths into your belly. Keep pressing the palms and feet into the mat to lift the hips up higher. One more breath. And then from here, we're going to find our way into our shoulder stand. So if a shoulder stand isn't within your practice today, you can continue to stay here in your bridge or maybe come back with your knees into the chest. If we're going to try our shoulder stand, we're going to shimmy the hips side to side so that we can bring the palms to rest underneath the sacrum so that we support the hips. And the fingertips come to the outsides of your hips, fingers pointing up to the ceiling. And just grounding yourself here, making sure you're nice and comfortable in this position. Maybe this is as far as we go. If we can start to take it further, we'll bend that left knee, bring it in towards the chest. If we can keep going, we can then start to bring that right foot in towards the chest. Taking your time. And then from here, we can start to extend the legs. We can then start to walk the hands down to the back of the shoulders, reaching the feet up high into the sky. Chin stays towards the chest here. We're not moving the head from side to side. Keeping your chin to the chest. And deep belly breaths. We can relax the feet here. They don't have to be pointed or flexed. Slow, deep breaths. One more breath. As you exhale, we can bend in the knees, tuck the knees in towards the chest. We can extend one arm down to the mat at a time. And exhaling, using your core, slowly come back down to lying on your back with control. We can then just hug the knees back into the chest for a moment here. Close the eyes and just take a moment to rest. Whether you want to find stillness here or maybe some gentle rocks side to side. Whatever you need. One more breath. And then really slowly and gently in your own time, rolling over onto either the left or right side and just gently helping yourself come back up to sit. Beautiful practice today. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed that little flow. If you did, please like the video, maybe save for later. You can always leave me a little comment in the comment sections below. And most importantly, please subscribe to my channel for more free yoga content. Thanks again for joining me. I hope to see you next time. Namaste.